So if you're ready to unarchive your old Schoology course and get your new Schoology course ready for this year, there are a couple of simple steps that you can follow along in this video. If you click on the Courses tab in Schoology, you'll see all the courses that you are a member or an administrator of. This year's course should be displayed at the top. If not, click on the My Courses tab and all of the courses that you are a member of will be listed in order for you. You can reorder those by clicking the Reorder Courses button, and you can pull your course to the top if you can't see it. Next, we'll need to make space for your old Schoology course archive in your Resources tab. Click on Resources. From there, under My Resources, I'll be able to click on the little file box to add a collection. I'm going to click on the file box, and then it'll ask me to title my collection. I'm going to call this Schoology Template. From there, I'll hit Create, and I can see my Schoology template is created right here. Now we're ready to find our archived class. In order to do that, I'll go back to the Courses tab. These are all current courses that you're either a member or an administrator of, so we'll need to click on My Courses. When I click on My Courses, it'll bring you to a new page where you have the ability to search for a course. What I'm going to do when I see the course listing here is I have current courses listed. I'd like to find archived courses. So I'm going to click on Archived. Now, any courses that I have been a member or an administrator on that are archived are right here. If you're a member or an administrator of many different courses, you can also search by a specific time period. So I can do that by choosing the school and by unchecking the current selections only because I don't want current grading periods. And then I can actually search back by last year's grading periods. So if I look for last year's grading periods, I just passed it, 2020 to 2021, I could search by last name if I wanted to, and I would find any courses that I was a member or administrator of last year. So now I have the courses that I was a member or an administrator of last year, and I'm going to go ahead and click into that course when I find it. Once the course populates, you'll see your Bitmoji classroom if you created one, and then the button template or folders that you did with your class last year, including last year's Teams links, all of the links to different folders and substitutes, and any other information that you may have put in your course. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see the folders that were linked to those buttons last year. It also tells you that the grading period for that course has ended. So what we would like to do right now is if you find the Options button, we want to save the course to Resources. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save Course to Resources. Now we'll find our folder in our collection. So in my collection, I called it Schoology Template. Within my Schoology template, my folders will appear. So I'm going to put them all in a folder with resources. I'll click Submit. Sometimes if you have a lot of things in your Schoology course, it might take a minute for it to transfer. And it tells me that at the top by saying your large operation is currently being executed. You can access a list of your large operations from your transfer history area. So if I click on that transfer history button, it will give me a notification of whether or not that has been completed. I can also simply check by going to Resources and then checking that collection in my resources to see if it's actually been loaded in there or not. So I'll go to Resources and click on Schoology Template, and I'll know if it's there yet or not by seeing if there's a folder. Now, my entire course is in this folder, and I'm ready for the next step. Now I am ready to add my archived course information to my new course. So let's click on Courses, find your course for this year, and open that course. If you haven't done anything to your course yet, it'll look like a blank canvas, similar to this. Now I'm ready to add materials. I'm going to click on the Add Materials tab of my course. When I'm ready to add the materials, I can import them from my resources. I'm going to click on Import from Resources, and then I'll have to find that template in Resources again. Remember, I created a new collection called Schoology Template. Inside of that Schoology template, I should be able to find my entire course. So I'm going to click everything and click Import. Schoology is asking if I really want to import the items into the course. I'm going to click Import. Now you can see, because it's a large operation again, it may take a second for this to import. My import is finally here, and with there, I'm ready to move on. So if I expand the folder, I'll be able to see all the folders that I had from last year: daily lessons, past lessons, class informations, website, and behind the scenes. I'm going to need to start with behind the scenes first. When I click into that folder, it'll open the behind the scenes page that I used last year. I'm going to open that page. From here, this is where you'll be able to edit anything that you're preparing for buttons or clickable links. Reminder that you'll be able to edit by clicking on the gear on the top right-hand corner and clicking Edit Page. That way, if you want to update your Bitmoji classroom, update your Teams link for live instruction, or remove or edit any buttons, that's where you'll want to start. Now I'm ready to link buttons. So if I go into my behind the scenes folder and I open my page, I'm going to edit the page to link buttons. From there, I'll be able to use the same button for Teams to add a new Teams link. I'll be able to delete or edit buttons that I no longer need. But what I'll have to do to edit a button is to click on it, and you'll see that it appears blue. From there, if it's something that's linked or that I want to be linked, I'll click on the chain link button at the top. When I click on that, I'll notice that there is already a link for this button, or I'll have an empty link space like I see here, and I'll be able to paste my new Teams meeting link in here by clicking Insert. Make sure that you copy and paste before you insert. If you're ready to delete a button, all you'll have to do is highlight that as well, and then you can click on the X to delete a picture. This button happens to be in a table, so I'll want to get rid of that table space by hitting the delete button. If we're not going to have live substitute instruction, you can just hit the backspace button to get rid of all of the substitute buttons. From there, you'll need to follow the steps for linking folder buttons to the folders for the days of the week. One thing to keep in mind is that every time that you edit the page, don't forget to save the changes for that page. So I'm going to click Save Changes, and now the page will be updated. When you're finally ready to display this as your final announcement page, you'll click on the gear, and then you'll edit the page one more time. Then I'll select all in the page after I click into it by hitting Control and A at the same time. I'll know I've selected everything when all is highlighted in blue. Afterwards, you can copy everything on the page by hitting Control and C, and then clicking Save Changes. Now I've copied everything over, and I'm ready to go to the Updates section of my page. Once the Updates section loads, I'm going to click into the Updates field and hit Control V to paste the update. Now I can see that my update is displayed here. Make sure that you don't hit post without following the final step, which is clicking on the bubble icon right next to post, and then clicking on the bell so that I can update it as an announcement, which will keep that pinned at the top of the page. So I'm going to click on the announcement and then click post. Once I see that, on the top of the materials page of my course, that announcement will be pinned for all students to see, and the buttons will be interactive after you have them linked to whatever folders or courses they need to be linked to.